Welcome to Legion Builds, where I guide you on how to bring your favorite characters into Dungeons & Dragons. This video and all my content is brought to you by my Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. Become a supporter today for just $1 and vote on the next video release, with more benefits coming soon. It's also dedicated to everyone who subscribes to my channel. Wouldn't do any of this without you guys. Thank you. Today we're meeting with the Baba Yaga himself, John Wick. John is a master hitman and is one of the most notorious killers of the underworld. I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I'm not really a huge fan of the series solely based on the fact that his suit can stop bullets. I'm sorry, I just can't get past it. For today's build, we'll be using the Player's Handbook and Xanathar's Guide to Everything. We're using standard point array to make the guide easy for you, and we are multi-classing, so keep minimums in mind. Thankfully, it's just 2 of them. We'll start things off with Dex at 15. You're fast, agile, stealthy, and you use ranged weapons. Con will be next at 14. Over the course of 3 movies, you take enough damage to put down, well, everyone you put down in the movies. Of course, this is because you have a superpower. Plot immortality. Wisdom will follow at 13. You have great awareness of your surroundings and know when someone wants to end you, though everyone wants to do that, so it's pretty easy. Charisma will be 12. Most people don't know how scary you are, but others do, and they know it's better to walk away. Intelligence will be low with 10, and we have to dump strength. Both stats are lower than they should be, because you're both strong and smart, but they're not important for the build, so we gotta dump it. John is a human. Variant Human gets you a free skill and feat with your stat improvements. Place +1 into Dex and Wisdom. For your free feat, Crossbow Expert allows you to ignore loading properties on crossbows you are proficient with. Being within 5 feet of an enemy does not impose disadvantage on a shot with ranged attacks, and you can fire a hand crossbow with a bonus action when you make an attack. For your free skill, take Investigation. For background, go ahead and grab the skills Animal Handling and Intimidation. We need to start things off with some assassin abilities, so we're going to start with Ranger. Regardless of what people say, Rangers are deadly. 4 skills, grab Stealth, Insight, and Perception. Level 1 Rangers start off with Deft Explorer. This grants you multiple features as you level up, starting with Canning. Choosing one skill you're proficient with, you can now double the proficiency bonus. Choose Stealth. You also now can speak 2 more languages. Favored Foe allows you to mark a creature you hit as your favored foe. While you maintain this for 1 minute, all damage you deal to the marked target deals an extra 1d4 damage. You can do this a number of times equal to your proficiency bonus. Now let's improve the hand-to-hand combat skills. Level 1 monks have Unarmored Defense. Your AC when not wearing armor is 10 plus Dex plus Wisdom, giving you a starting AC of 15. Martial Arts improves your unarmed strikes. Your unarmed strikes can now be Dex-based. You can now make an unarmed strike with a bonus action after you make an attack, and finally, your unarmed strikes deal damage equal to a martial arts dice. This starts out as a D4 but will upgrade over time. Alright, time to really boost up your skills with Rogue. You get a new skill, take Persuasion, because somehow people help you even though they should be killing you. Level 1 Rogues start off with Expertise. Like Canny, you can now double proficiency bonus, but to 2 skills. Choose Perception and Insight. Sneak Attack adds bonus damage once per turn to your attacks made with a finesse or ranged weapon, while you have advantage on the attack or have another enemy of the target within 5 feet. Now, I said enemy because generally, you don't really have a lot of allies. This starts off as just 1d6, but will upgrade as you level up. Thieves' Cant is a coded language of gestures, symbols, and words used in the underworld amongst criminals. Level 2 monks receive Unarmored Movement. Now when not wearing armor, your speed increases. Your total speed right now is 40 feet. Dedicated Weapon turns any weapon into a monk weapon. After a long rest, you choose a weapon you are proficient with that lacks the heavy or special properties, and now it is a monk weapon and can be Dex based. Key grants you key points equal to your monk level. With these points, you can perform special moves, such as Flurry of Blows lets you spend 1 key point, and now you can attack twice with an unarmed strike using a single bonus action. Patient Defense costs 1 key point, and now Dodge is a bonus action. Step of the Wind turns Dash or Disengage into a bonus action and doubles your jump distance, all for 1 key point. And now let's make Step of the Wind almost useless. Level 2 Rogues gain Cunning Action. Dash, Disengage, and Hide are now bonus actions, meaning you can now spend your key points on everything else. Level 2 Rangers now have a fighting style. Archery adds +2 to your attack rolls made with a ranged weapon. Spellcasting grants you spells. You start off with 2 spells at this level. For spells, Cure Wounds heals you 1d8 plus Wisdom. Hunter's Mark is similar to Favored Foe, but better. You can maintain this spell for 1 hour and can mark a target with a bonus action. Now, any damage you deal with a weapon to the marked target receives an extra 1d6 damage, and you have advantage on perception and survival checks made to find the marked creature. You can also move the mark to another creature with a bonus action. You cannot stack Hunter's Mark and Favored Foe, as they both must be maintained. Leave Favored Foe as a backup in case you don't want to use a spell slot. We'll be able to raise it up to match the same damage as Hunter's Mark, just not yet. Level 3 Rangers receive their subclass, and let's make you a better killer with Hunter. Hunter's Prey grants you one of 3 features you choose to customize your character. For you, you're going to want to take Colossus Slayer. Once per turn, you can deal an extra 1d8 damage if they are below their maximum hit points when you hit a creature. For your new spell, take what you want. You also receive either Primeval Awareness or Primal Awareness, but neither fit with you, so customize how you feel once you look them up. Level 4 Rangers earn our first ability score improvement, and we're 8 levels in. Place this into Dex for better attack, damage, stealth, and AC. Level 5 Rangers now have extra attack. You can now attack twice with a single attack action. You also now have second level spells. For your new spell, Pass Without Trace adds 10 to your stealth checks, and you can't be tracked by non-magical means for 1 hour while you maintain this spell. You can also pass this spell on to anyone within 30 feet of you when you cast it. Level 3 Monks gain Deflect Missiles. Now when you take damage from a ranged weapon attack, you can reduce the damage by 1d10 plus Dex plus Monk level. If you reduce the damage to 0 and you have an open hand, you can catch the projectile, which John can't do, but this is D&D, have fun. You also gain your subclass, and we need to give you the ability to body anything. Heading over to Xanathar's Guide, Kensai Monks are weapon specialists. Kensai Weapons lets you choose 2 weapons, 1 melee and 1 range, and you turn them into monk weapons that gain special abilities as long as they lack the special or heavy properties. But longbow can still count if you want it. Choose hand crossbow and any melee weapon you want. You're really good with all of them, though you always have a dagger handy, so go with that. Agile Parry turns any of your Kensai weapons into defensive weapons. While holding a Kensai weapon and attacking with an unarmed strike, you now gain +2 to your AC until the start of your next turn while you are holding the Kensai weapon. Kensai Shot lets you add damage to your ranged Kensai weapon attacks with a bonus action. After using your bonus action to do this, you will deal an extra 1d4 damage with your ranged Kensai weapon until the end of your current turn. Alright, let's take a second and recap here. Using a hand crossbow, you can now deal 1d6 plus 4 plus 1d6 or 1d4 plus 1d8 plus 1d6. Ouch. And you know what? We're not even done improving this yet. Level 4 Monks earn another ability score improvement. Place this into Wisdom for better AC. You also earn Slow Fall. You can now reduce falling damage by 5 times your monk level with a reaction, which is good because you have a tendency to be thrown from high locations and land on your back. Seriously, how are you not permanently crippled? Oh wait, plot immortality. Yeah, sorry about that. Quicken Healing lets you heal yourself with an action by spending 2 key points. You can now heal yourself by a martial arts dice plus your proficiency bonus. Level 5 Monks receive Stunning Strike. You can now stun an enemy you hit with a melee attack by spending 1 key point and forcing a con save. Should they fail, they are now stunned until the end of your next turn. Focus Aim lets you turn a miss into a hit by spending up to 3 key points when you fail an attack roll. You can now add 2 to the roll per key point spent. Finally, your martial arts dice are now a d6, meaning your unarmed strikes are dealing a d6, and any monk weapon you wield that doesn't already do a d6 or higher. Level 6 monks now gained Ki empowered strikes and magical Kensai weapons. Now your unarmed strikes and Kensai weapon damage is magical. Death Strike adds even more damage to your Kensai weapons. By spending 1 ki point, you can now add another of the weapon's damage dice to the overall damage. You also get a third Kensai weapon. I would suggest the light crossbow or maybe other melee weapons. It's up to you. Finally, your unarmored movement is now 45 feet. Level 3 rogues gain steady aim. Now with a bonus action on a turn you haven't moved, you can reduce your speed to 0 and gain advantage on the next attack. Your speed remains 0 to the end of your current turn. Your sneak attack is now upgraded to 2d6. You also gain your subclass. Assassins gain proficiency in Poisoner's Kit and Disguise Kit, which doesn't make much sense to you, but okay. Assassinate gives you advantage on an attack against anyone who hasn't taken their turn in combat before you. Also, if you surprise them, your hit is automatically a critical hit. Your sneak attack is now 2d6. Level 4 rogues earn another ability score improvement, Cap Off Dex for more damage, great stealth, and a better AC. Level 6 rangers receive their next feature from Deft Explorer. Roving adds 5 feet to your movement, bringing you to 50 feet. You also now have a climbing speed and swimming speed equal to your walking speed. Your favored foe damage is now a d6. Hunter's Mark is still better, but now you don't have to use a spell slot to get this extra damage. Use favored foe on all the other targets you just wanted body, and use Hunter's Mark on your preferred target that you're tracking. Level 7 Hunter Rangers now have a new feature of their choice from Defensive Tactics. I would suggest Escape the Horde. Now opportunity attacks against you are at disadvantage. For your new spell, Magic Weapon turns a normal weapon into a magic one for 1 hour while you maintain the spell, adding +1 to attack and damage. Now I know what you're wondering. Why take this since you now have 3 weapons that have magical damage? Well, simple. Heavy crossbows can't be a Kensai weapon. Maybe you want to snipe someone. Level 8 Rangers earn our final ability score improvement. Place this into Wisdom for better AC. Level 5 Rogues gain Uncanny Dodge. You can now have the damage from an attack with a reaction when you can see what hits you. Your sneak attack is now 3d6. Our final level is level 7 Monk, and now you have Evasion. Now when you succeed a dex save, you take no damage and half on a failure. Stillness of Mind lets you end one effect on yourself that is making you charmed or frightened. Now that we've hit level 20, let's recap. Your stats are Strength 8, Dex 20, Con 14, Intelligence 10, Wisdom 18, Charisma 12. Your total levels are Rogue 5, Monk 7, Ranger 8. Let's dive in. Holy hell, there's a lot of damage here. Attacking with a hand crossbow is 1d6 plus 5 plus 1d8 plus 5d6 when you use sneak attack against a creature that's already been hurt, which will probably happen since you gain advantage pretty easily, and you can turn misses into hits. Oh yeah, you hit an enemy that hasn't taken its turn yet, you'll deal 2d6 plus 5 plus 7d6, adding a d8 if they've already been hurt, using standard critical hit rolls. And all that is magical. You have an AC of 19, can reduce damage from falling and ranged attacks, heal yourself multiple ways, can dodge as a bonus action, can have the damage done to you, and you can take no damage from passing a dex save, all while adding plus 11 to that. Finally, you have a passive perception of 26, and your stealth rolls are plus 17 or plus 27 with Pass Without a Trace. Downside. Not much to hate here. Your wisdom couldn't be maxed out, which means you don't have an AC of 20, but you get to hit a lot in the movie, so I don't really care. You can really negate a lot of damage anyway, so who cares? The only real downside is strength, but rolling for stats will make that better, hopefully. If you roll for stats and have some open ability score improvements, think about a few feats like Skulker to improve your stealth, Tough to improve your health, Sharpshooter to improve your range, or Tavern Brawler to stab people with pencils. This is a scary build. You can get most anywhere, and when you arrive, you bring death. Thank you for joining me today, and I hope you like this build. We release a new one each week on YouTube and Spotify, so make sure to like and subscribe to not miss a single new character. Make sure to check out my Patreon to vote in this week's poll where you can decide the next character. Will it be Plague, Decker, Huggy Wuggy, or Chainsaw Man?